Welcome to the very first episode of The Freedom Show, the show that's all about helping you break free from the rat race. My name's Rod, and in this very first episode, I want to discuss with you how to make $1 million online in the next couple of years. Over the last couple of years, I've made more than $1 million in my business, which I tell you is not in a money-making niche. I'm in a very much a hobby craft niche is my main business. And I've made over $1 million in the last couple of years by helping people get what they want. And that's what I want to talk about with you in this video. And we're going to be talking about on this channel. It's all about how you can convert your spare time into your own business online that'll help you break free from the rat race for good. And I'll tell you more about my story as we go. But look, how do you make $1 million over the next couple of years in an online business? So I want to share with you my thoughts on how I've done it over the last couple of years and how I'm growing my business, right? So as I said, I'm not in a money-making niche. So I'm not selling crypto or how to invest in the stock market or how to make money. I'm not selling how to get a six-pack abs, all these sort of niche markets that we know are big money markets if you can crack them, right? Because the first thing you're going to hear from gurus, and by the way, I'm not a guru at all. I'm an artist, right? My real work is an artist, and then I turn my art skills into an online business that's made more than $1 million in the last few years. So I'm not a guru on the internet or anything like that. What I'm going to tell you is real talk, and I'm not going to try and sell you anything either. I'm going to give away everything I've learned, so that you can take what you need from this channel and prosper with it yourself, right? And that's the real key. And so you might want to hit the subscribe button and the like and all that good stuff so that you get notified of future episodes of The Freedom Show. All right. And the reason why I call it The Freedom Show is because I hated the job that I was in and I wanted to be able to do my own thing in life, not have to answer to a boss. And I was looking for more freedom in my life, right? And I knew that it wasn't going to be through a job. And what I wanted was both time and money freedom, which is what I have today. And it's what I'm going to share with you on this channel. So what do you need to do to be able to create a freedom business that sets you free from the rat race? Because right now, if you've got a job, right? If you've got a job, then you are trading time for money, right? You're trading your time for money. There's no leverage in doing that. So what you need to do is take some of your spare time, right? Take your spare time and build what I call a freedom business. Okay, not every business is going to help you get free. There's lots of business owners who are trapped by their own business, right? They build a business because they got sick of working for the man, and all of a sudden they're trapped in their own business, right? And they're working harder than ever for less money. That's not what we're going to be talking about here. We're going to be talking about how do you build a business that helps you become free, right? Free from the rat race, free from having to trade your time for money. So the very first thing you need to really understand is that in order to do that, you're going to have to put some time and effort in up front. So we have to go from an employee mindset and we have to go to an entrepreneurial way of thinking, right? I don't know how to spell entrepreneur, even though I am one. So we'll just go with that, entrep, right? You don't need to be smart to build a freedom business. I'm certainly not, right? I don't know how to spell or anything like that. So how do we go from an employee mindset where we trade time for money and we make that leap to being an entrepreneur? We have to think differently. We have to have different thoughts, different beliefs, right? And so one of the very first things about being an entrepreneur who builds a freedom business is you're going to have to put the time in today, right? And we're going to compound the time and effort we put in, and we're probably not going to get paid anything for it for the first period of time. But then over time, the money will start to flow from the efforts we put in previously. So something, look, I'll be honest with you, right? Back in 2012, I started filming my very first online courses. I was teaching people how to paint. I wasn't very good at painting, right? I was only a beginner myself, but I had a passion for teaching. And so I started filming these courses. And not only was I no good at painting, but I was also not that clued up on video, how to film myself, how to do the editing, right? So I really had no idea what I was doing, but I still get paid for the courses that I did back in 2012. Now, back in 2012, if I just grab a different color here, because it's getting a little messy, right? So, back in 2012, I started putting in this time building what we're going to talk about in a moment, online courses, and I wasn't getting paid for them while I was building them, right? Now, there is a way to get paid while you build, but back then I wasn't, right? But it was, as time went on, I started to get drips of money from the work I put in. And today it's 2022. I'm still getting paid for courses that I built in 2012, right? And that's when you get to a point of freedom. And what you think about is, let me just move all this out of the way so we can get into some good stuff. This is just the intro, right? Hang on a second. There we go. So we've got to think about having a different mindset, the mindset of an entrepreneur, right? And back in 2012, I started filming courses. Let's say each one of these bricks represents a course. And then once I filmed the first one, I filmed a second one, right? And then a third one. And then the next year, I filmed some more courses, right? And each course became a brick in a wall, right? And then the next year after that, and so on. And so every time I put a brick in the wall, the money that flowed out grew. It got bigger and bigger, right? Why? Because I started to build up what I call assets. Now, you don't have to build online courses. There's lots of ways of creating digital assets, right? I'm just sharing with you what I did that's led to me earning, over $1 million in the last couple of years, right? I built assets starting in 2012 all the way through to 2022. All over that time, I started building assets. Digital assets. And this is what, when we start thinking like an entrepreneur, this is what we've got to get to, is having that longer term view of what we're doing and starting to think in terms of assets. So many people come to the internet looking to make money and they're looking for the quick way, right? The easy way. So I'm sharing with you the plan that I've built over 10 years. And in that time frame, I've got to a point where I've got enough assets that the money flowing from those assets has grown and grown and grown to the point where I'm now making, the last couple of years made over $1 million. And I believe I could have done it a lot quicker if I'd seen a video like this at the time, right? So what are the assets that you need to build, right? And there's lots of different business models online. I'm just going to share with you the one I had, which is online courses, which, by the way, I think online courses are definitely the best business model online, right? Digital courses, video courses online that help people solve their problems. So I'm an artist, right? So I teach people how to paint. Beginners, right? I teach beginners how to paint basic landscapes and seascape paintings, right? And so what I'm doing is I'm helping them solve a problem. I don't know how to paint, or I'm trying to paint, but I'm struggling to get good results. I come in and help them with these assets that I've built, right? And I've built up a library of different courses that they can take, and every course I add becomes another brick in my financial freedom plan here, right? I keep adding assets. And so what are the assets, right? So the first one is, I'm in the online course business. And if you stick with me on this channel, make sure you like and subscribe. I'm going to teach you how you can become a teacher, and you can teach and grow rich, right? Just by teaching stuff online. So the first asset is online courses. I've built 100 plus online courses over the last decade, right? It's only 10 a year, which is when you learn how to do it properly. That's not that many. You can do it in your spare time, right? If you're working 40 hours a week plus commute time, so say 50 hours a week, you can carve out 10 hours a week to start building online courses and start teaching some skill set that you have, right? And you can start building bricks in a wall that lead to financial freedom, that lead to $1 million over the next few years if you do it smart, right? I wasn't smart when I started. I had no clue what I was doing. I had to learn everything. So it took me a bit longer, right? I was in the slow group. If you follow what I'm going to teach you in the Freedom Show channel here, you'll be in the fast group. I promise you. You just have to do it, right? So online courses is an asset, and we want to build as many of these digital assets as we can, right? The other thing, so another example of an asset is an email list. Believe it or not, email lists are still the superior way to make sales online. Sure, you can make TikTok videos and everyone's talking about that. And, you can make, I don't know, Instagram posts and become an influencer and all. I promise you, the only thing that stood the test of time over the years is an email list, right? Building an email list. I've got an email list of, 80,000 people or more. It's in that range. I haven't checked lately, right? And I focus on building my assets, which is my email list. That's my audience that I can reach, right? Now, social media audience, right? So on my Facebook, I've got 20-something thousand people. So that's also an asset, although I don't put as much focus on that as I do email list, because the email list I own and control. If you have a Facebook account, they could get shut down tomorrow by Facebook's AI bots, right? Don't even get to argue with them. They just shut you down. Hasn't happened to me, but I have had a YouTube channel shut down for no reason because the AI bot didn't have his coffee that day, right? So social media audience is another example of an asset. But what other assets can we build, right? What about a sales page or a sales video that sells your courses? If you get a good one of these that converts, I've got one at the moment, it's converting at 3% on cold traffic. That's pretty good, right? It's one of the best I've ever done. So you don't need to have massively high conversion rates to be able to make $1 million over the next few years. So my best converting sales page is converting at 3% on pretty much cold traffic, right? I'll explain my process for that in another video. But if you have a great sales page, that could be, and it's evergreen, right? That means it doesn't go out of date. That could make you millions in the next decade, right? So that's an asset. So you want to put time and effort into building these assets. This is where you put your time, right? Not following gurus, right? Because they're just going to try and sell you a expensive mentoring program, right? That you probably won't use. Where you want to put all your time, 10 hours a week, if you're stuck in a job you can't stand right now, is into building digital assets. If you build the right type of digital assets, then you can get free from the rat race like I've done, right? And I'll show you how to do it. So a sales page is a really good asset that you can build. A sales video, right? A sales process. So that could be a funnel maybe, right? There's a lot of hype around funnels, but funnels is just making offers, right? So a process is probably more important. Not every sales process involves a funnel. So for instance, one of my best converting part to my sales process is when I do live challenges. We'll talk about that another time, but that's not a funnel. It's a process that helps me convert sales, right? So what was the other one I was going to share with you, which was a really good offer. Okay. And an offer could be a bundle of different courses. I mentioned I've made over 100 courses. So that puts me in a unique position where I can take, this course and this course and this course, and I can bundle it up into a really compelling offer. And when you've got great offers, that becomes another digital asset that makes you money, right? So if you're just starting out right now and you think, okay, Rod, how do I make $1 million in the next, say, 3 years online, right? I've done it in the last couple of years. So I can tell you exactly what to do and what to focus on. So you've got a limited amount of time, right? This is our time that we have available. If you're working in a full-time gig right now, don't quit your day job, even if you hate it. Use it as motivation. What I need you to do is carve out 10 hours a week, right, to build digital assets. And you've got to be really clear on the time you're putting in. What are you doing, right? And what we want to do here is just be very clear that we're going to create digital assets. There's only a few different types of digital assets: an online course or a product to sell, right? So if you don't want to do online courses, then there are other types of products that you can create. So you want to build products, digital products that you can sell. I think online courses are the absolute best business out there by miles, right? And I'll share with you in more videos why I believe that and how you can create your own online courses. But let's say you're going to follow me and you're going to go, right, Rod, I'm good at XYZ. I'm going to build my business around that. I'm going to help people solve their problems in that area, right? Might be, let's just call it Forex trading. I don't know. I know nothing about that, right? But let's say that's your little thing you've been spending time on. You've learnt something, you've made a bit of money. Now you want to teach it to people, right? So you're going to put your 10 hours a week into building, first of all, digital assets in the form of online courses. Then you're going to put your effort into building an email list and growing that as big as you can, because I tell you, every time somebody subscribes, the amount of money that I make grows, right? It's a direct correlation between how big this list is and how much money I make. Okay. It's basically how many bricks in this wall over here times by the size of the email list is the equation, right? Then as a secondary consideration, building a social media profile. But here's the thing, don't jump on the latest thing. Just because TikTok's hot right now, it might not be next week, right? There'll be something else. But pick one social media platform and really nail that. In my art business, I'm all over Facebook, right? For the Freedom Show, this is the very first episode. I'm going to focus on YouTube for the Freedom Show, right? Different type of business, and you know, you have to pick one social media platform. Master one, don't try and be across all of them because you'll never do it. Then sales pages, right? So this is one, building digital products. Number 2 is an email list. Number 3 is your social media profile. But your social media is only good if you have engagement. I'll teach you how to engage your audience, right? Number 3 is now we've got products and we've got an audience. We need sales pages that convert. 3% is bloody good, right? When I started out, it was 0.5 if I was going well to 1. And it's taken me a few years to work out how to get to 3%. I'll show you a high converting sales process and sales page, right? Number 5 is sales processes. It's not just about funnels, although funnels help, right? And number 6 type of digital asset is offers, okay? So this is where you want to put all your time and focus. And I promise you, if you just do these things, and here's what's going to happen, right? If we draw a little graph here, this is time, and this is money, and this is day 0, and then we've got year 1, and we've got year 2, and we've got year 3, right? What's going to happen is, as you go, it's going to go like this, and then all of a sudden it'll take off, right? And so what we're doing here is we're putting in the time. We're putting in time. We're building digital assets, putting in time, building digital assets, right? And then all of a sudden at some point it gains momentum and you start making the money, and the money will grow the more momentum you build. I promise you, you know. And look, don't think for 1 minute that you had to start this years ago, because it's better now than it's ever been, right? The opportunity today is better than it's ever been before. When I started, right, trying to upload video onto YouTube was a nightmare, because we didn't have broadband internet connection when I started, right? And so everything was harder back then. Today it's easier. Today you can live stream and reach out all around the world, and it's free. So everything's easier today. Don't think you've started too late. If you're starting from 0 today and you want to know how to make $1 million or more in the next 2 or 3 years, focus on building digital assets. Now, in the Freedom Show, this is the very first episode. My name's Rod. Click the like and subscribe button if you want to see future episodes. But I'm going to break all this down for you, and I'm going to give it all away to you for free, and I'll show you examples of what I'm doing, how I've made over $1 million in the last few years. I'm going to give it all away to you for free. And stick with me. I'll teach you how to break free from the rat race and become free with time and money. All right. Hope you've enjoyed this episode. Leave a comment and tell me what's the biggest challenge in the comments that you face trying to build your online business. And are you focused on building digital assets, right? Not everyone is. And I'll tell you, this has been the number one thing that's helped me to break free from the rat race. Focus all my time and energy onto building digital assets, right? I've gone through them with you. Watch the video again if you can't remember what they are. Leave a comment and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.